begin tonight's program, we would ask that all cell phones be turned off, and that you please refrain from approaching the stage to take photographs. These two items will help tremendously with our ceremony. At this time, would you please rise, graduates and guests, please remove your caps for playing our national anthem. Mr. Engelter, members of the Board of Education, faculty, parents, family, friends, and graduates. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Linden High School commencement ceremony for the class of 2016. Graduates, today you complete a journey that you began 13 years ago when your parents dropped you off on your first day of kindergarten. I'm sure that there was joy, anticipation, and excitement then, as there is now and then some. The next journey that you embark upon will bring you face to face with some tough challenges and some tough decisions. But there's no doubt that your parents, your friends, your family, your teachers, and your coaches have prepared you to face those tough challenges and decisions. Today is a day that for many of you will create a great deal of reflection. You will look back on some of your accomplishments and experiences at Linden High School. You will also remember relationships and memories that you created while here. Those relationships and memories that were created during discussions with teachers, eating lunch with your classmates, bus rides, attending extracurricular activities, walking the hallways, or possibly a memory of driving your lawnmower to school. All of your experiences have helped shape who you are over the past 13 years. Today is also a day of excitement and anticipation. Today is a day that you look ahead to the opportunities and accomplishments and memories that you're going to make over the next 13 years. This afternoon, your time here at Linden High School will come to an end. Congratulations to each and every one of you. You've all earned the honor of being called graduate. Throughout it all, you've demonstrated a strong will, a commitment to excellence. It's been a fantastic voyage. I'm proud of each and every one of you, and I commend you on a job well done. At this time, I'd like to introduce an outstanding young woman, a class leader, and someone who's not afraid to get involved. Ladies and gentlemen, the Student Council President for the class of 2016, Ms. Megan Kennedy.
Can everybody hear me? Good. Okay. Here we are, class of 2016. All of our hard work has led us to this day. For some of us, it seemed like this day would never come, but for others, it seemed like it came too fast. Regardless, we are together today to celebrate one of our finest moments. Jimmy Ivan once said, "That diploma you hold in your hands today is really just your learner's permit for the rest of the drive through life." Remember, you don't have to be smarter than the next person. All you have to do is be willing to work harder than the next person. Our time in high school has served as a guide for the rest of our lives. It educated us on responsibility, discipline, and integrity. Receiving this diploma today, we are beginning a new path in life. We are no longer the people we were 4 years ago. The walls of Linden High School no longer determine who we are or what our next step is in life. We decide what we do and who we become from this point forward. Today, we all begin to take our own individual paths through life. For some, our educational journey will begin tomorrow, but for others, it may continue further down the road. Regardless of which path you choose, just remember to not stray too far from it. Our journeys are not a competition to see whose is better or who can get there first or who is more successful, but rather how we make it our own. Over the last 4 years, we have been given the resources and knowledge from our teachers to be successful both educationally and personally. It is now up to each one of us to take what we have been given and start the next chapter in our lives. No matter when or where our next chapter begins, there is more in store for each one of us. If you set your mind to it, you can do anything that you believe. There is no limit to what we can achieve in life. The opportunities are endless so long as you have an open mind and are willing to put in the time and effort. Do not be afraid to take risks because you can be whoever you desire to be in life. If your plans fail, push past your failure and create a new path to get you where you want to be. There may be obstacles that hamper your ability to move forward, but always remember that no obstacle is too large to overcome as long as you possess the determination to succeed. No matter how far you are in your journey, always remember where you came from. You were a part of Linden High School. Remember your friends, teachers, dances, and inside jokes. But most of all, remember the lessons they taught you that led you to where you are today. Although those memories and experiences are behind us, I hope you're able to reflect back on them with a smile. Everything you've done over the last 4 years is an accomplishment. From scoring that game-winning goal to getting an A on a paper that you just spent 4 hours the night before finishing. Be proud of the accomplishments that you have achieved up to this moment, but know this is just the beginning and not the end. There is so much more in store for each one of us. New doors to open, new challenges to conquer, and new dreams to achieve. We have shared some of our biggest milestones in life with the people sitting beside us today. And even though you may be headed in separate directions, remember, this is not goodbye, but simply see you later. We only get one chance in life, so let's make every moment count. Congratulations, class of 2016, you've earned it.
Thank you, Megan. At this time, I would like to direct your attention to the north end of the gymnasium as Mr. John Bennett directs the Linden High School Wind Ensemble as they perform choreography arranged by Robert Shelton. you, Mr. Bennett and the Wind Ensemble. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please help me welcome an extraordinary young man, the valedictorian for the class of 2016, Mr. Matthew Helm.
Oi, that's a lot of people. For those of you who don't know, my name is Matt. I am part of the marching band, wind ensemble, jazz band, robotics, quiz bowl, track, martial arts. So because I did all this stuff, I actually don't know how all the other sports did. Did we do good? Yes? No? Yes? I guess we did all right. So during our marching band season this year, we placed 4th at states, which is unheard of for the past. We had about 60 people in our marching band. We were going against people with over 100. So I would just like to personally thank Mr. Bennett for helping us with the marching band. I would also like to thank Mr. Vandeventer because he helped with the low brass, my personal section. I would like to thank Dr. George and Mr. Schneider for teaching me how to take a book and tear it to pieces. I would like to thank Mrs. Plunkett for teaching me that I love calculus, and Mr. Lawhorn for teaching me that I hate statistics. I would like to thank Mr. Bodzik for teaching me that the U.S. government is pretty messed up. I've got a bunch of other people to thank, so you might not want to clap every time. Sorry. I would also like to thank the science department for teaching me the broad horizons of all the sciences. I'd like to thank my counselor, Mrs. Armour, for putting a mess of a schedule every year for me. It's been ridiculous. I would also like to take a moment to remember 2 teachers who passed away recently. Mr. Cargill, the middle school gym teacher, who we all loved and adored. And Mrs. Squirrel, who decided that she wanted to cut the power lines to the high school so that we would have to stay in this school for an extra hour and a half. I would like to thank the Lord for setting the foundations of my successes, and I would like to thank all my personal mentors, Grandmaster Weatherly, my martial arts teacher, Mr. Kaysen, my robotics mentor, Mr. Sandy Monroe and Dr. Sue Monroe, best friends of the family, and Dr. Sid Siddiqui. I didn't forget to thank anyone, did I?
Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten.
Ohana means family, and family means no one gets left behind or forgotten. I would like to thank my dad for supporting me in everything that I do. He has to go over the road all the time just so that I can pay for all of my extracurricular activities. I would like to thank my mom for pushing me to do the best at all I can, and I would like to thank my brother Jacob, my little bro, and my best friend. Now that all that sappy stuff is out of the way, who wants to hear an inspirational speech? Not many people do. That was about 5 hours of my life wasted. No, we only have a limited time on this earth. I don't want to waste it on stuff that nobody wants to hear. I'd like to get something done, make a contribution to the world, make ripples in the water. As Dylan Thomas puts it, to not go gentle into that good night. I do not want to end up like T.S. Eliot's Hollow Men, or This is the Way the World Ends, not with a bang, but with a whimper. I'd rather go out like those in Halo. This is the way the world ends. Fight for your beliefs instead of sitting idly on the sidelines. Make a difference in the world instead of seeing it crumble. And not with a whimper, but with a fanfare. But how do you do that? Well, that's actually a simple answer. Take something you love, whether it be politics, video games, music, British literature, or quantum physics, and latch onto it and never let go. When you come to the end of your rope, tie a knot in it and hang on. That quote was from Franklin D. Roosevelt. The way I first saw it was in the library. AP art students painted on the windows in the library, and they had a bunch of great inspirational quotes. I'm just going to take a moment to read a couple of my favorite ones. The greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it is too low and we reach it. From Michelangelo. There's only one corner of the universe you can be certain of improving, and that's your own self. From Aldous Huxley. But art and literature are not the only places to find good inspirational quotes. My personal favorite comes from my martial arts training. The black belt is just the white belt who never quit. Which brings us full circle and back to my main message. So I urge you all, class of 2016, to find something you love, don't quit, and make a difference in the world. And now, I just have 2 words left to say. Matt out.
Thank you, Matt. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Linden High School Ensemble directed by Mr. John Bennett as they perform I'll Always Remember You, arranged by Mitch Allen and Jessica Alexander.
the future in our hands. So many dreams, so many plans.
Always knew after all these years there'd be laughter, there'd be tears, but never thought I'd walk away with so much joy but so much pain.
Another chapter in the book. Can't go back, but you can look. And there we are on every page. Memories I'll always save.
Up ahead on the open doors, who knows what we're heading towards. I wish you love, I wish you luck. For you the world just opens up. It's so hard to say goodbye, but yesterday's gone. We've gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moments. So glad I got to know you. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember you.
Every day that we had, all the good, all the bad, I'll keep them here inside.
All the times that we shared, every place, everywhere, you touched my life.
Yeah, one day we'll look back and we'll smile and we'll laugh, but right now we just cry, 'cause it's so hard to say goodbye.
Yesterday's gone, we gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moments. So glad I got to know you. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember you. Always
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. At this moment, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Mr. Scott Maker, President of the Linden Board of Education.
I thought Mr. Bennett had saved me for a minute. And since Matt took my shtick of tearing up my notes, I just have to go without notes, period. But it's my distinct pleasure, on behalf of the Linden Board of Education, my fellow board members and the entire community, to congratulate the class of 2016 on attaining their requirements to graduate from Linden High School. And I say community because back about the time you were all born in the mid to late 90s, there was a common idea going around that it takes a village to raise a child. And you look at that and it sounds very academic and very kind of cold. I consider it more, it takes a community. Because if you look at Webster's dictionary, and I'll paraphrase the definition of community, it's a group of people with a shared interest. And that community for you for the last 13 years has been family and friends, incredible staff here at Linden Schools who have guided you through your passage from kindergarten to this day. And that shared interest has been to get you to a point in your life where you're able to launch into adulthood and find any pursuit that's going to fulfill your dreams. So it's with that time that I want to congratulate you once again and just wish you all the luck wherever the road may lead you. Find something that you're passionate about, grab onto it, and make the most of it every single day. And always remember, you are part of the Linden community wherever you take your life from here on forward. You're part of Linden. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Maker. At this time, please help me welcome Mr. Brian Bannemetter, Linden High School faculty member, giving this year's commencement address to the class of 2016.
All right, guys, I haven't said anything yet, right? Hold your applause, okay? All right, thank you, Mr. Dresky. Of course, I'd like to begin by stating what an honor it is to be standing here before all of you, considering, of course, the large number of you that asked me over and over again if I was going to give a speech at graduation, so here we are. Writing the speech actually was much more challenging than I originally thought it would be. I found it difficult to accurately capture the 4 years I've shared with the class of 2016 and leave you with something meaningful in the process. I thought over a lot of graduation speeches I've heard in the past, both from commencement ceremonies I've attended and participated in, and throughout all of those, the speaker generally tries to give the graduate some sort of inspiration or some sort of lesson to walk away from the speech with. So I sat down to write a speech with that in mind and ended up deleting the first couple drafts of the speech that I wrote because they were kind of boring. Right? I had cliches in them like, believe in yourself and reach for the stars. I couldn't imagine what I had actually written inspiring you while you slowly sweat to death in this 100-degree gym with 100% humidity. Then I thought, what if I didn't tell you a lesson you should learn? What if I instead discussed the lessons that I have learned? In the 4 years here that I've been a teacher at Linden, I've certainly learned a lot of lessons about myself, about you, and of course about life. I thought that would be something much more meaningful. So here I'm going to present to you the lessons I've learned from the class of 2016. My first lesson began on my first day of teaching, the first day of your freshman year. I was thrilled to be a teacher for the first time, but I was also extremely nervous. One thing they never really tell you about in college, and it doesn't really matter the career you're going into, is that most of what you learn about doing the job you went to college for, you learn from actually doing the job, not from sitting in a college classroom for 4 years. As such, I came into room G112 at Linden High School on my first day of school in the fall of 2012, not really sure what to expect. And as most new teachers experience, I floundered and felt like I was treading water. I wasn't confident. I felt like I didn't know how to interact with high school students. I'd done my student teaching in a 6th grade class. You can imagine what a shock that was for me. And I could not, for the life of me, remember anyone's name. However, I, of course, began to slowly learn the painful lesson that all perfectionists learn at some point. It's okay to be bad at something. In that first year of teaching, I failed often, and I failed spectacularly. But, of course, I learned something with each failure. I began to become more confident with each failure. I began to develop better interactions with students, and of course, I started to learn everyone's names. As you leave the school, you'll have days that go exactly as planned. You'll have some days that go even better than you imagined, and you'll have some days that just don't work at all. I had to fail many times before I truly got to experience any kind of success, and it was because I was persistent. It was through my many difficulties of my first year that I began to realize my second major lesson. Part of the reason I overcame those first-year struggles was because of the help I received, help from you. It was you, the class of 2016, that helped push me to become a better teacher and a better person. Each day I would hear something nice from one of you. Each day you would force me to think about something in a new way. Each day you challenged me, and challenged me, and challenged me, and challenged me. And of course, that continued for 4 years. I can truly say that, though, because of the influence you had on me, I've grown into a better person. In that same way, always keep in mind that no one does it alone. You didn't get to this moment by yourself, and neither did I. I had help. Help from you. Help from the other teachers I worked with. And help from my friends and from my family. My parents even came today to see me give this speech. Aww. A lot of graduation speeches might mention about how you're going off into the world alone, which makes it seem like you're starting from scratch, which this really isn't true. Many people helped you get to this point, and those that are truly meaningful to you will be there for you in the future. Some of them are sitting around you. Some of them are up in the bleachers. Some of them are sitting here alongside the stage. In this sense, the only way that we will survive in this world is by being kind to one another. The only way that we can get by is through the help we receive from others. No one can or should do it alone. Finally, among the good and bad days, I've learned from you, the class of 2016, to take every opportunity to create memories. As I look out among the faces before me, I'm struck by how many of you I could tell a story about. Maybe some stories your parents wouldn't want to hear. How many of you I associate with a certain event. How many of you have personally impacted me as an individual. In the end, these memories are what I will carry with me from you years after you've gone from this school and on to bigger and better things. This lesson I've had to learn repeatedly, even as recently as a few weeks ago. It was your last official day in high school, May 18th, and it should have been a fond memory in my mind, as there were many opportunities for me to reflect and to share experiences with students that I had known for years. However, I spent the day in a strained panic because I had to make copies, I had to grade papers, I had to fill out forms. Many seniors flowed in and out of my classroom that day, and I shooed away most of them because I was consumed with the tediousness of my work. And then at the end of the day, I was left with a stack of senior photos on my desk, having not remembered when each student came in and put them there. And you were all gone, and I hadn't really said goodbye. For me, that was a sadly wasted opportunity. And I urge you not to let a day go by where you don't create a positive memory or share an experience with people that are important to you. In the midst of the small details of every day, it's often difficult to remember something worth remembering. Days, weeks, months, sometimes years may pass, and when you reflect on them, nothing really stands out. This really is a shame. Through my 4 years here, I've learned to approach every day as an opportunity to make new memories. These memories help shape me into the person that I am, and they've shaped you as well. And now, I'd like to take the opportunity with you to make one last memory. Soon you're going to cross this stage, you're going to receive your diploma, and you're going to return to your seat, ready for the ringing of the bell and the switching of the tassel, before you throw your cap in the air. The switching of the tassel is symbolic in that it distinguishes you as a graduate. In a similar way, I'd like to make a symbolic gesture to send you all off in style. I'm not sure how this weird tradition started, but 3 years ago, a student, who shall remain nameless because I promised I wasn't going to name anyone by name in this speech, him and I made a pact shortly after spring break that we weren't going to shave our faces until the last day of school. Unbeknownst to him at the time, I can't grow facial hair to save my life, so it wasn't that much of a struggle for me to honor this pact. 3 years later, this tradition still endures, which is why I stand before you with some of the most hideous facial hair known to man. Those of you in the bleachers high up are probably squinting right now because you can't even see my facial hair, but I promise you it's real and it's horrifying. I last shaved on April 10th, the final Sunday of spring break, and I stand before you with the results of 2 months' worth of persistent effort and determination. Of course, I become acutely aware of the sideways glances I get in the grocery store when someone looks at me and mutters under their breath, "Now there's someone who's truly given up." In addition, at a recent dinner with my parents, my mom gently scolded me and told me I should do something about it. So, with this insurmountable pressure in mind, and before I formally conclude my speech, because I do have a few more things to say, I can think of no better way to symbolically say goodbye to the class of 2016 and to get my mom to stop nagging me than standing before you right now and doing something about it. Really, what better time than right now for this? So, underneath this podium, let me get set up for a minute. All right, let's see how this goes. I already spilled some water. I'll clean that up. All right. We got Barbasol here. This presentation brought to you by Barbasol. Clean my hand up a little bit. Oh, gross. There we go. Okay. All right, here we go. my God, that's disgusting. I promised I wouldn't take too long to do this, so you guys don't care if it's perfect, right? I'm really good at shaving. You know, there's probably like a metaphor in here somewhere. You know, like, it took 2 months for me to make this beard, but it's gone so quickly, right? Life is fleeting. I'm not going to cut myself. I'm a pro. Right, I'll just do a little bit more. You guys get it. It's not going to be perfect, right? It's the idea that counts. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. Okay, close enough. All right, couple last things to say. Thank you, thank you. All right, finally, now that I both look and feel a little bit better about myself, I'm going to clean up my face in a little bit here. Okay. I'm ready to formally conclude my speech. And with my mostly shaven face, I'm ready to say goodbye to the class of 2016. I'd be remiss if, as an English teacher, I didn't include some sort of literary reference in my speech. Henry David Thoreau's 1854 book, Walden. It's a book I struggled to read both in high school and as an adult. Even though I truly love it, it's still a book I struggle to comprehend at times. Regardless, it's full of a lot of wisdom and profound realizations. The book ends with the following lines. The light which puts out our eyes as darkness to us. Only that day dawns to which we are awake. There is more day to dawn. The sun is but a morning star. I'll read that last line to you again because I know sometimes you're not paying attention. There is more day to dawn. The sun is but a morning star. I recall vividly sitting through a high school lecture that seemed to last for hours, but in reality it was probably only a half hour, trying to dissect what those lines meant. But now, as I wrote this speech and as I stand before you, I have a little bit better idea than I did back then. Although for you, this moment may seem like the end of something, it's truly the beginning, or the dawn of something far greater. Time will tell what your life will hold for you, but you have plenty of time to figure out what that might mean. For you, the dawn of your life is coming to a close, and the day is just beginning. It's time for you to go out and find something. Find your morning star, and follow it wherever it might lead you. Congratulations to the class of 2016, and go Eagles!
Thank you, Mr. Vanderbilt. It is now time to present all in attendance the graduating class of 2016. It is my honor and privilege to attest that each of these students before you has successfully completed Linden High School requirements for graduation and now deserves to receive their diploma, signifying their graduation from Linden High School. Trevor A. Hall, summa cum laude, top 17. Megan Clavitter, summa cum laude, top 17. Nolan R. McDonald, summa cum laude, top 17. Sydney Schofield, summa cum laude, top 17. Logan Steyer, summa cum laude, top 17. Melissa Price, summa cum laude, top 17. Charlie Novak, summa cum laude, top 17. Courtney Buckley, summa cum laude, salutatorian. Matthew Helm, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Chase N. Morse, summa cum laude, top 17. Maddie E. Wable, summa cum laude, top 17. Tyler J. Dubois, summa cum laude, top 17. Amber N. Price, summa cum laude, top 17. Holden M. Holzinger, summa cum laude, top 17. Megan E. Losi, summa cum laude, top 17. Kagan L. Griffith, summa cum laude, top 17. Connor M. Brooks, summa cum laude, top 17. Bridget Plude, honors. Alexa J. Marsh, magna cum laude. Micaiah R. Ash, summa cum laude. Ronnie D. Gibson III, cum laude. Emily A. Williams, honors. Jacob J. Cox. Hunter M. Moore. Hannah LaForest, honors. Sydney R. Prince. Stephen M. Root, honors. Michael B. Bargy. Jack M. Murphy. Nason D. Hainline. Gabrielle K. Dumanaway, cum laude. Olivia S. Kirk. Amelia M. Simberg, magna cum laude. Sarah Mufakardeen. Sarah J. Hopkins, honors. Rodney R. Stilgenbauer. Morgan E. White, honors. Mackenzie J. Heichel. Kelsey L. Huff. Nicholas C. McCormick. Brennan Brinker, honors. Raymond T. Ballard. Rebecca L. Ballard, honors. Shania J. Barasa. Emily E. Ettinger. Jacob M. McKenzie. Carissa M. Schoen, honors. Hannah R. Kern, honors. Hunter L. Ludwig, honors. Juan Subiza, foreign exchange student. Alexis R. Oliver, honors. Alyssa M. Lynn, summa cum laude. Alexander R. Gamash, cum laude. Miranda M. Fowler, cum laude. Trey Link. Molly M. Churches, magna cum laude. Michael C. Otto, magna cum laude. Chandler M. Allen. Andrew C. Koppler. Travis D. Hansen. Douglas K. Myers. Brendan M. Hansen. Christopher H. Martin. Jackson L. Stevenson. Charles J. Blackburn. Taylor A. King. Jordan I. McDonald, honors. Ryan X. Young, honors. Catherine E. Cool. Alexander J. Henschel. Michaela L. Guy. Bryce D. Davis, honors. Madeline A. Liss, honors. Jocelyn Wheeler. Alexis P. Wallace. Blake J. Schuster. Jacob M. Rowe. Kevin M. Bates, magna cum laude. Alex J. Lay, honors. Luke P. Justice, cum laude. Jenna Maya Gossett, summa cum laude. Zach Gidry, honors. Nicholas M. Emerson, magna cum laude. Jack C. Eck, honors. Hannah M. Whitted, honors. Brandon G. Sproul, magna cum laude. Jordan M. Holscher, honors. Kyle J. Kaluza. Austin J. Maxheimer, cum laude. Benjamin T. Davis. Coda S. Ronald. Drew E. Davis, honors. Brandon R. Versola, honors. Luke L. Zimmerman, honors. Bailey C. Davis, honors. Kayla J. Waringa. Nolan B. Hill, cum laude. Samantha R. Paladin. Nicholas J. Rossau. Lauren D. Klein, magna cum laude. Carrie J. Plew, honors. Tucker R. Blaney, cum laude. Danielle J. Kroll. Jack G. McCarthy, honors. Rachel E. Berlin, honors. Natasha M. Engish. Gretchen M. Sack. Tristan T. Hughes Lefevre. Brandon T. Purchase, honors. Laura A. Keach. McKenna M. Baldwin, honors. Mason L. Gunderson. Kevin M. Osman. Christopher S. Kitch. Michael C. Masters, honors. Nicholas C. Andrew Cates. Luke C. Boggs, honors. Taylor A. Falzone. Taylor M. Bittner. Bryce A. Tucker. Maya J. Nelson, honors. Andriana N. Villanueva. Julian Fisher, foreign exchange student. Riley A. Palmquist, magna cum laude. James Roan. Kaylee M. Brandt. Lucas B. Henderson, honors. Colin S. Lavoie, honors. Austin M. Lapham. Tori Ann R. Keller, cum laude. Tyler L. Zaccardi, magna cum laude. Megan E. Kennedy, cum laude. Mitchell F. Oluen. Catherine M. Gilliott, honors. J. M. Howard. Anthony J. Maston, magna cum laude. Brendan M. Garvey, cum laude. Gianna R. Luna, honors. Taylor R. Ganger, cum laude. Madison R. Maxheimer, honors. Kayla M. Massaro, magna cum laude. Sarah L. Butts. Nathan D. Mann. Kylie N. Monroe. Amanda J. Gerhardt.
Where's he going? Where's he going? Where's he going? He's giving out.
Kristen F. Wood. Miranda Lee. Sam P. McDonald. Justin L. Farrington. Jarrett L. Mitchell. Dylan E. Baldwin. Hannah R. Zambezi. Melanie R. Elger, honors. Zachariah D. White, cum laude. Jacob T. Wolford. Joel A. Barber. Jake H. Stubbs, cum laude. Jacqueline N. Armstrong, honors. Connor J. Fought, cum laude. Shannon M. O'Connell, honors. Cassidy G. Messing, cum laude. Caitlin M. Smith, magna cum laude. Chelsea Rose Johnston. Ashley N. Cameron, honors. Jared A. Payne, magna cum laude. Jenna M. Pekarik, cum laude. Eric C. Rapetta, summa cum laude. Norman R. Tester, Jr., honors. Trevor J. Sunderla, honors. Brooklyn M. White, cum laude. Cameron B. Frazier, honors. Andrew T. Oda, cum laude. Calvin R. Gamash, honors. Matthew L. Hitt. Kyle R. Macon. Bridget K. Adams, cum laude. Caitlin M. Wilkowski, honors. Allison L. Luban, honors. Nicholas J. Pizzoni. Nathaniel S. Wagner, magna cum laude. Nicholas S. Melville, honors. Savannah R. Matris, summa cum laude. Dante J. Minitel, summa cum laude. Molly R. Bitterman. Jacob K. Brown. Ryan O. Fuller. Corey D. Lieberman. Zachary B. Williston, honors. Brendan M. Whitney. Patty M. Littlefield. Thomas J. Allen. Lauren A. Bale. Amber M. Berry. Ryan W. Carney. Jacob D. Moros. Jacob G. Wazalewski. Emmanuel A. Vamvalakis. Marco J. Zatimo. Gabrielle A. Workman, honors. Adriana Stapleton. Lauren M. Teschker, honors. Trevor J. Smith, magna cum laude. Kennedy K. Smith, cum laude. Austin J. Muncy. Ezekiel A. Soriano. Courtney K. Schneider. Jacob J. Sutphin. Paul M. Rowe. Kyle A. G. Blake A. Rogerson. Ryan W. Sauter, honors. Jamie S. Straley. Brielle A. Bergen. Again, I'd like to congratulate the class of 2016. And before we close, I'd also like to thank the teachers sitting to my right. The teachers in attendance tonight have guided those students from kindergarten, some, to 12th grade. They've spent countless hours preparing your sons and daughters to be the best that they can be. Thank you again to all of our teachers in attendance today. Graduates, today you leave us as educated, successful young adults. We now rely on your guidance, words of wisdom, and friendship. Take advantage of the opportunities that come your way. Don't be afraid to take on those challenges and decisions. You're prepared for them, and you're going to do very well. Graduates, while Megan makes her way to the stage to ring the bell and the honor guard gets in position, I will remind you that your diplomas will be in the cafeteria after the ceremony. Megan, honor guard.